Dr. Elias Voss didn't believe in God. He believed in evidence, in data, in proof, in the kind of certainty you could hold up to the light and defend, sentence by sentence, calculation by calculation, until nothing was left to argue with. So he set out to do what no one before him had ever fully accomplished: disprove the existence of God once and for all, using science itself, every tool at his disposal, every hour he had left to give. Years earlier, a boy sat in a hospital hallway, praying harder than he'd ever prayed for anything in his life. He asked for a sign, any sign at all. He got silence, nothing but the hum of a vending machine and the clock on the wall. That silence never left him. It just changed shape into a question he'd spent his whole life trying to answer with proof instead of prayer. Now he was one of the most rigorous minds in his field, respected and more than a little feared. And everyone who knew him knew exactly why. He called it an experiment. Everyone else called it an obsession. He pitched it to the board plainly: test every argument for God against the evidence, and let the evidence win. Most laughed. A few worried for him. He didn't care either way, so he got to work, methodically, confidently, one claim at a time. Miracle claims fell to statistics. Ancient texts fell to contradiction. One by one, the easy arguments went down. He was winning, or so it felt. His colleague Maya wasn't so sure. "You can win every argument," she told him, "and still not touch the question." He waved her off. He wasn't looking for a different kind of question. He wanted an answer. Weeks passed, then months. The wall filled up, but something in him started to fray. He stopped sleeping. He stopped answering calls. Then he found it, a result in his own data that refused to resolve. No matter how he ran it, it wouldn't fit. For the first time in the whole project, he had no counter-argument. Maya found him there at 3 a.m., staring at a screen he couldn't explain and hadn't touched in hours. "Let someone help you carry this," she said. He told her he didn't need help. He needed an answer. Alone again, the old silence from that hospital hallway came back, louder than it had been in 30 years. He realized for the first time that he had never been trying to disprove God at all. He had been trying to prove that silence hadn't meant what he always feared it meant, that he hadn't been abandoned, that the question was never really about evidence at all. He sank to the floor of his own office, 30 years of certainty finally giving way. Maya came back. She didn't say anything. She just sat down beside him. For the first time in years, he let someone sit with him in the not knowing. He never did finish his disproof. He came to believe the question had been the wrong shape from the start. Proof and faith, he realized, had never been answering the same question at all. He closed the wall of red-marked arguments for the last time, not because he'd won, but because he finally understood what he'd actually been looking for. Not a proof, a presence, and that was never something a wall of evidence was ever going to hold. He still doesn't call himself a believer, but he stopped calling himself certain. And somewhere between the silence of that hospital hallway and the light of that morning, he found something he never set out to find. Not an answer, a peace with not having one. So, could he disprove God? No, but he found something almost no one sets out looking for and finds anyway. Next time, the physicist who tried to prove the soul